Well, there's nothing better than a garden full of well-chosen, well-planted trees. And I think we've got the bones showing here. We've got all kinds of wonderful trees. And today I want to look at a handful of our very best. Some unusual trees that are often difficult to get hold of, but really are worth looking for and investing in. Well, as you can see, we've got trees all over the place here at Greystone Gardens. But this is a chap I want to talk about. This is one of the yellow magnolias. At first I was very wary of them. I was always familiar with a typical pink one, which does quite well. We have a lovely example in the garden centre. And I've tried yellow ones over the years and some were good, but I've got to a point now where I think they are excellent. They really do a wonderful job. This is one called Butterflies. You have to forgive it. It's had a little bit of frost damage. It came from a northern supplier. A little damage on the edge there, but that's because they grew it under plastic a little bit there and it got ahead of itself. But typically they do very well. In fact, we have one up on the hill that actually got wiped out by a tree coming down. A big maple crushed it, snapped it at the ground. It was about this high, but got snapped completely to the ground. And now about 4 or 5 years later, it's about 10 feet tall with the flowers just coming out. So I really do believe they are quite a hardy plant. Well, everybody loves the Redbutt. It's an American native and all the way down the eastern seaboard. We're kind of at the limit of how far you can grow them north, but what is wonderful is how the flowers come out. Now this is a regular one. I want to show you something a bit more interesting. Well, how about this little chap? This little chap is known as Little Woody. It's a redbud that's about half the size, much more compact, tends to be a little bit more upright, but I say for a smaller garden, it's ideal. But if you're really constrained for space, this one over here will do the job. Well, look at this. This is a weeping redbud, so a very tight space. Literally, it just cascades to the ground. You need a bamboo pole or some kind of pole to keep the weight up. Otherwise, it would just cascade down. If you've got a rock wall or something for it to hang down over, it's fantastic. Secondly, this one, Ruby Falls, has purple leaves. So during the rest of the summer, it still looks really, really interesting. Beautiful heart-shaped purple leaves. Well, everyone loves the American dogwood. It's a classic native plant. You can tell you've got a dogwood because the flower is very distinct. Now, the American dogwood, though, unfortunately, has been gradually being wiped out. There's far fewer in the natural landscape than there were when I first came to this country 30 odd years ago. So the crosses now, they've crossed the American dogwood with Kousa dogwoods to produce a much more robust, disease-free plant. And this is one of these crosses. This is, you've got no idea just how big these flowers are, but this is a variety called Venus. It looks like a white handkerchief when they extend and open, but still pretty much a classic American dogwood sort of flower, but big. Now the baby I really want to show you is right next door. It's this little chap here. Now this is brand new to me. This again is, often people say, I want a pink dogwood, a red dogwood. And the American dogwood, I've seen more dead and dying ones, but these Kousa ones now, and this is from the Rutgers University breeding program. This one is called, so new to me, I don't remember the name, Scarlet Fire. And it looks a really vigorous plant. And what's nice about it, even this small little specimen here is covered in flowers. And again, the petals will get bigger and bigger and bigger and produce, hopefully, the reddest dogwood I've seen. A hardy one as well. And you can't go wrong with that. Well, this handsome devil is a tough nut. It's a Siberian pea shrub, but a weeping form, not just the regular weeping form, it's a fine leaf form, so they call this variety Walker's weeping pea shrub. Tough as nails, can stand very dry, poor conditions and do very well, and it produces these lovely little flowers. The dawn redwood is a magnificent tree, but it is a monster. It can soar 50, 60, 70 feet up into the air, probably a lot higher. But for the smaller garden, there is an alternative. And this is the alternative. This is amber glow dawn redwood. Amber glow because the foliage when it comes out is yellow with a little bit of pink in it maybe. But it keeps its yellow color throughout the summer. But it's a tree that's probably half or even less than the full dawn redwood's height. So for a smaller garden, it's a 30-foot tree, so it's not going to be towering above everything else in the neighborhood. But I've had a great deal of success with this. And because of the yellow color in the summer, it really is worth every penny you invest in it. Or you might be familiar with Norway maples, and I know some people are kind of against them because they do take over our... Anyway, let's not get into that side of them. One of the popular trees planted, though, is a King Crimson Norway maple. Those are those huge, round, jet black trees that become so dark underneath there's very little to grow. This is called Crimson Century. It's a narrow form. You can actually grow a bit more out of it. Has the same dark leaf that people like, but you could put other plants around it quite successfully. On the top there, we have a green form of it, just a narrow. These narrow trees are very good if you've got power lines. You don't want to run into power lines, they'll keep away from it all. And if you want to have a bit more sunshine in your yard, and especially down below it all. So there you go, a selection of trees I think are kind of interesting for your yard. If you've got any questions, as always, I'm down here at Greystone Gardens and I love to answer them. I love to see you and I love to answer your questions too.